The importance of business and education cooperatively working together is so essential today for a couple of important reasons, and one part of that is apprenticeship, and we're going to talk about that. I have with me Lynda Speller, Coordinator of Apprenticeship and Internships at Work-Based Learning from Metro Technology Center, and Chad Butler, who's with Collision Works, Human Resources Recruiter. Lynda, you're putting together a spider web, a networking that's going to be incredibly powerful.
We hope so. We're looking forward to helping our industry partners develop their workforce, and apprenticeships, internships, work-based learning is a good way to go to make that happen. I've been with Career Tech System quite a long while, and have had an opportunity to work with a lot of different business and industry partners. So as a result, with the new focus on apprenticeships, Metro Tech decided to put in a dedicated position for apprenticeships, and so that's my new focus. We hope with the contacts that I have made throughout the years with business and industry that more and more of our businesses will step up and realize the value of an apprenticeship program. Started calling on Collision Works, Chad here with us today, to visit with them basically about their training needs initially before the apprenticeship position that I'm currently holding came up. And as we started talking, we realized that it would be really beneficial for their company to work closely with the Career Tech System to help develop their workforce through that type of a program.
And more companies are seeing the light.
They're
beginning to realize how important this should have been done 20 years ago.
It should have been. Metro Tech's been doing apprenticeship programs, if you will, on an informal basis for many, many years. But the structure that comes with developing a true program that is long-term is so beneficial to the employer as it helps them retain those employees, bring them up in their own culture, do what they need to do to keep those employees moving forward and staying on top of the new technologies that come into focus. And so making it a more formalized process is really going to be of value to the state of Oklahoma, I believe.
One question that I had here is, what really got you started in the internship apprentice program that made it look good to you?
I would say the biggest thing is our owner and founder, Jake Nossaman. He loves this industry. He just doesn't see it just as a normal business. He knows that we have to invest. We have to invest in the tech schools heavily and make some type of process successful, and that is with internship and apprenticeship program. He talks about it all the time. He said we need to have a process that is different than everybody else's, but simplistic, because that's where we see most of it, is that the processes now are so convoluted and so detailed that it has gone away from the simplicity of it. And so what we did is we simply said communication is the biggest thing. The communication between the tech schools and the businesses are where we saw that there needed to be more of an emphasis on. And that's exactly what we've designed here, is that a constant communication and contact with the tech schools, which is a partnership of design, because usually it's done separately. The tech school has theirs and the business has theirs. And there was nothing of a combination or the melding of the two. And this is what we've done with Metro Tech, is that with the instructors with Metro Tech is have a combination of both of how processes are done for our industry and also for our company. So we have higher results from that. That it's just not two different things being taught, and hopefully they'll have some type of learning in between. What we're getting now is that we are doing the internship exactly how Metro Tech wants it, and Metro Tech is taking cues from us of how our industry likes to see it in the classroom. And this is where we see the biggest success from.
And that's where the effective communication comes in,
Exactly.
by doing it that way. And you've kind of already answered this question, but what does your internship program look like? Is there any other thing you want to flesh out on that?
I'd say the most successful part of it is that it's just not, it's that, it goes back to that communication piece. It's not just throwing students into a situation, because like, you know, any instructor doesn't want their student, not to set them up for failure. And so there are strict guidelines. They come in, they have to be at the top of their class. They come in, and once they come on our section for their internship, that's evaluated, but we're constantly keeping in communication with that instructor of what's going on and what things need to basically fill in the gaps of what they didn't learn while they were with us. And at the end of that, we show them what a process is and what a business is like. Because usually they come in with the technical skills and say, oh, I know how to fix cars. Well, do you know a process? So this is where they're learning it on our side, is the process. So they have a more understanding when they go out into the job market, especially when they're interviewing for positions, that they know how to talk to the business. They just simply say, oh, I know how to fix a car. They know, okay, well, I know how production works. This is how fast I need to do something. This is the time and energy that needs to be spent. Those are the things that are, I would say, that is different in reference to the internship that we developed.
So would you say communication skills in those areas is important?
Oh, huge, big time. And those are the two major things that we are not just is being taught on the Metro Tech side, but also on our side as well, is that those communication things are key. Is that same thing, if you don't tell us what's going on, we don't know what's going on. So
You all are a team.
yes.
And that's part of the influx between the two as a team. What Lynda, is the future looking like now for what you all are doing?
It's enormous. I thought it would be difficult to sell, if you will, the concept of apprenticeships to our business and industry. It is not. There is such a need for trained workforce. They want to get it done. They just need the collaboration, such as we've done with Collision Works. It doesn't matter what industry. It could be healthcare. It could be aerospace. It could be oil and gas or energy. I'm working with a company, Spears New Technologies, that does the algorithms for electric cars, for the batteries for electric cars. We're going to be putting together their program and collaborating on that. But it's an understanding, as Chad said, between the business and the educational piece. That's not they have the mentoring side, so they can get their hands on that equipment that belongs to that company. They're immersed in their culture. They feel a part of that business, so they want to stay with that business rather than just, maybe I'll give this a try and maybe not. But then on our side, it's up to us to collaborate with industry, of course, to be sure we are teaching what they need to have taught. And that's key, not just a canned educational program that we've got on a shelf. We've got to connect with those industries and be sure that we're giving them what they need. If Metro Tech doesn't have it, we'll reach out and we'll customize something, and we'll get a third party that can come in and address those specifics from our side of the house. We do that every day on a short-term basis with what we call our short-term training. Our full-time programs are over 600 hours, anywhere from a year and a half, 2 years. In Chad's case, they have certifications called ICAR certifications that they need to have, and Chad can tell you more about that. But they're modules, so we can prepare those students with those industry standards that they need to have to make things happen on their side, and then they use their mentoring with those people that have been with their company a long time, in the industry a long time, so that they can really address the intricacies of the profession that they've chosen.
And this teamwork has to be flexible because there are always new technologies coming into play with all different industries.
Absolutely. Chad can tell you about a new technology that they just implemented at Collision Works that is from Europe.
And
Chad,
I'll bet you know all about that now.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It's wonderful. But
Yeah,
but
the thing about it is to make it a fluid process, is that a fluid process going back and forth. And just like you said, with advancement of technology, it's always changing. That's kind of been the detour of internships and apprenticeships in the past is that you're learning the same thing that was the same curriculum and material that was 20, 30 years ago, and not keeping up with the technology, which has a tendency sometimes to, deter the, as far as your intern, is that they're like, oh, this is the same thing I learned here. This is nothing new. There's nothing different. And this is where we're showing that there is. I mean, just for instance, as far as the advancement, as far as that, we not only were we trying to do what we're trying to do with the advancement of technology and auto collision, is to show that things are easier. It's not this, it is a it's a hardworking job, and you are compensated well for it. And at the end of the day, you feel great accomplishment, when you're working in this industry. But at the same time, we always wanted to make it easier for
there are
any
new
employee.
tools and techniques come in that do make it
Yeah, we have a new
easier.
one. We have a new paint process called CIMAC. It's out of Italy. Our company is the second only in the United States that is utilizing this. And what it does is it cuts down paint production of a vehicle that is being basically going through its completion process. It cuts down paint production by almost 65 to 70%. And so this allows a lot quicker process. Customers get cars a lot faster, higher quality of work, and also higher quality of job satisfaction to the employee. Is that they're not having to wait. They're actually able to work on more and more cars, and they see this new process going on. And so as we start to implement all different types of technology, just not from a production standpoint, but we also definitely look at it from the employee's standpoint. We want those things to entice employees to come in, just not besides a normal wage or great benefits or fantastic education from school. Is that we want these things that show that this is an advancing industry, and it's just not the same mom and pop shop that it was 30, 40 years ago.
And in this day and age, things are going to change.
Oh yeah.
Technology and all those things come into play. And Lynda, I wish we had an hour to cover, because I'm so excited about it.
We'll come back.
Because this is so needed. And Chad, I'm glad that you've gotten hooked up with the program that Lynda has here.
Oh, we are too.
Because it's an outstanding program. We just need to have you all back at another time so we can find out more. But you're going to have dozens of new companies that you'll be working with.
We really will. In fact, it's almost overwhelming. We have put together, at Metro Tech, we've put together what we call a cross-functional team, because I'm not the expert on every technical aspect of every program that we have. So we have those instructors, those technical experts from all of our departments that can come in on a cross-functional team. So whatever the need is, our auto body department, and we have a fabulous auto body department. Chad researched a lot and can tell you what he went through to assure himself that we were the right choice to work with.
We were the right choice to work with. So.
Well, you obviously were. My time is up. They're about to threaten me over here. So let's do this, Lynda. Let's do this again. Chad, thank you for being here.
Thank you, sir.
Lynda, coordinator of apprenticeship work-based learning, and Chad with Collision Works through Metro Technology Centers. Thank you.
Thank you.
you.